Will training like this transform your career? I believe the answer is yes, and in this video, I'm going to give you a new method of training which is going to maximize your chances of becoming a professional footballer. Now, a few years ago, training only looked like this: cone drills, ladder movements, and repetitive gym work. Then the fascia guys came along and promoted this unrestricted, barefoot, super clean, healthy living lifestyle. And honestly, it can be a bit confusing which one to choose. So during the last 3 seasons, I decided to test both of these methods and find what works for me whilst playing at a high level. Some exercises gave me insane results, whereas others made me slower, weaker, and less technical on the ball. And through trial and error, I figured out what you should actually be doing. I cut out all the nonsense and rubbish advice and pointless exercises and created a system that truly works. And I'll be explaining that system within this video to save you the time and effort that I wasted. It's a system that allowed me to become insanely technical on the ball, avoid injuries, and become more confident when playing. It's allowed me to ball out when playing against pro clubs or overseas. And it hasn't just helped me too. It's helped over 25 other footballers who are currently using or have used this method of training. And if you want the results like them, just go check the top link in the description. So this training method is split into 4 main key categories. And the first of these is working on your proprioception and peripheral vision. Proprioception is sort of like your body's GPS. That's how I like to describe it, because it's the way your body controls how you move, where your limbs are, what your feet and ankles are doing, all without needing to look. Humans have 5 senses. However, proprioception is sort of like the 6th sense. It allows you to dribble with your head up and do movements and actions without needing to look at what you're actually doing. It's the reason why Messi, Neymar, Lamine Yamal, all of the dribblers of this current generation are able to dribble past 2 or 3 players whilst keeping their head up and eyes off the ball. It's powered by special receptors in your feet, ankles, knees, and hips, and it sends information to your brain. Am I changing direction? Am I losing balance? Do I have control of the ball? Your brain receives this information and then sends an automatic response, and this is all subconscious. However, through the exercises that you're seeing on screen right now, this can be improved, and just like a muscle, if you don't train it, it becomes weaker. Also, combining this with peripheral vision is super transformative for your game. Peripheral vision is probably a term you've heard mentioned before, and it's essentially your ability to see things out of your line of sight. The better you are at this, the easier football becomes. You spot defenders approaching you without needing to fully turn your head to check your shoulder, and you can see passes that maybe last season you would never have seen. And so many players are skipping this because they're not even aware of these concepts. Now, the second pillar, and something that's super vital in my training plan, and the older you'll get, the more you'll realize how important this thing is, and it's working on the fundamentals or basics of football. As you get older and as you progress, you realize that 90% of the game is receiving the ball and passing it, the basics. And if you can't do this at a super high level, your chances of going pro dramatically decrease. Now, on social media, we're always encouraged to work on our 1v1s and our finishing, and don't get me wrong, I've promoted this and I fully believe that these are vital things that all footballers should be able to do. But the thing that's going to take us the furthest is the thing that won't hold us back the most. And if you can't do these basics, you'll never be able to walk into an academy environment. If you're messing up the rondos, you can't keep the ball in a possession, just forget those ambitions. And you need to be working on your basics: first touch, passing, receiving, and turning under pressure. If you can't do these things, again, your chances of achieving your dreams within football heavily decrease. Being consistent, not making silly mistakes, keeping the ball and being reliable under pressure is a thing that is so valued by managers. And when I was 16, 17, I was so keen to focus on my 1v1s and dribbling. And the reason why I didn't get many opportunities at that age was because I was unreliable in possession. However, as I've got older and I've been on trial at professional clubs, played against pro teams, played full-time overseas, I've started to realize just how important these things are for your game. And as you can tell by the drills on screen, they're all super simple. You don't need much equipment, you just need a ball, a wall, and a couple cones. So the third pillar of my training plan, and when I'm creating a training plan for some of my clients, this is a question I always ask them: what are you best at in football? In other words, what is your X factor? If you don't have something that really makes you stand out, you'll never get to the highest level. Every player, no matter who they are, has that 1 or maybe 2 things that makes them exceptional. If you're Messi, it's your dribbling and vision. Whatever it is for you, you need to figure it out. Ask yourself these questions. What am I best at? What would I be proud to show off? What would I want a coach to know or see me do? These are the questions that you're going to ask yourself, and once you identify your X factor, it's time to develop it. Now, X factor is slightly different. For me, I just worked on it daily. I did 5 minutes before school on my dribbling and ball mastery. I figured out at a young age, this was my X factor, this is what set me apart from other players in my position at my level. Now, working on this didn't require any cones or fancy equipment. I just dribbled around every day in my house, and over time, these training methods became second nature. It's not about doing a 3-hour session on this twice a month. It's about small, little repetitions daily, or at least 5 or 6 times a week to really engrave this and make it muscle memory. And then the fourth pillar of my training plan, something that you should 100% be focusing on, is your biggest weakness. So this is sort of the opposite of your X factor. What is it that you'd be embarrassed about? What would you want people to not see? For some people, it might be, how's your touch? Someone boots the ball up and you've got to bring it down. They wouldn't want their whole team to watch them doing that. Whatever it is that embarrasses you, whatever it is that you're scared for a coach to see, this is what you need to be working on. Now, to develop it, it's very similar to your X factor. You need to be practicing it 4, 5, 6 times a week, or even daily if you can. And again, you don't need loads of practice for it. It's not about 2 hours a day. It's about 5 or 10 minutes, very, very consistently doing the same drills. So if it's your ball mastery, it's just little touches. If it's your shooting, practice your technique. If it's your speed, hit some max speed sprints. Whatever it is, there's a way to improve at it. It just has to be done consistently. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, the chances are you're different to your competition. You are keen to learn. You want to understand and improve. And again, if you do want some tailored help where I can literally create this schedule and create these 4 pillars and apply it to your game and your weekly schedule, go check the top link in the description and I can do it for you.